Hello and welcome to Scarborough for the opening round of the 2016 P1 SuperStock Championship. We've returned to this quintessential English seaside resort to kickstart what will be an adrenaline-fueled season that will see the races and teams doing battle behind the wheel of the awesome P1 Panther. And this year the teams will travel further than ever before with 5 championship stops around England, Wales and Scotland, making up what will truly be a great British race-off. And joining me once again is former British powerboat racing champion Shelley Jory-Lee, who's been down in the pits, getting the lowdown, meeting some of the new faces and getting reacquainted with the all-important P1 Panther race boat.
Thanks, Kev. There's a real buzz of excitement down here in the race pits as we get ready for the 2016 season. We've got new teams, we've got new venues, but the one thing that doesn't change is what they race. The P1 Panther. This is the boat that puts the stock into SuperStock. The thing about stock racing is that everyone is using the same equipment. You can't buy a bigger engine, you can't cheat, you can't buy your place on the podium. And it all starts here with a 28-foot stepped monohull. The steps are very important. This is giving lift at the back of the boat. This is where the power comes from. An Evinrude E-Tech 250 horsepower, pushing this boat to up to speeds of 70 miles an hour. Again, everyone's got the same equipment, so it's all down to how that driver trims this engine here to make it get the boat through the water as fast as possible. And lastly, probably the most important bit, the bit that connects you to the water, the gearbox and the propeller. A Mercury Bravo propeller, 26-inch pitch prop, and it's on a lottery basis. You don't get this prop until the morning of the race. Dave, tell me what you love about SuperStock racing.
I think it's probably the madness, Shelley, partly, but also we are all in similar boats. It isn't a checkbook. You can't come here and spend £100,000 and be a super champion. It's sensible motorsport. It is probably the best value motorsport anywhere.
When you're out there dicing with the waves next to each other, 70 miles an hour, what is it like? How difficult is it to drive?
The conditions dictate that to a massive extent. We can race, and we do race 2 inches apart, going around a corner at 65 miles an hour. That's quite exhilarating.
The first corner, explain to me what it's like.
You're coming barrelling into the corner, you've got 10 other boats around you. Unlike a motor race where the surface is absolutely flat and the corner stays the same, our corners don't, they're never the same. We've got waves, we've got wakes, the boats are rocking and rolling, and you're flying into it. You've got spray from other boats, and you've got to get through there and out the other side. And that's so exhilarating, and that is the best part of the race.
So that's the boat and that's the race course, or at least that's where the race course should be. But 4.5 metre seas and 23 mile an hour gusting winds means we're not going racing today, as Shelley's been finding out.
Officer of the Day, Les Hudson, why aren't we racing today?
As you know, Shelley, as OOD it's my call, which must be based on experience. Also, I must consult with medical people, my safety officer. As a result, and discussing with drivers as well, the possibilities of recovery were very limited in the waves.
There's a group decision and safety decision based on the size of the swell out there. So we're looking at a 4 metre swell with a 3 to 4 metre trough. So essentially with a 6 metre safety boat with, you know, you're powering down the wave. You know, that's fine if you're going out having a bit of fun. If some of these boats flip over, we've got someone in the water or 2 people in the water, we won't be able to rescue them.
Are we going to get to race tomorrow?
Hopefully. The forecast is that it is dying down. The wave height is supposedly down to about 2 metres, so we're hoping for a race tomorrow.
John, new team for you.
Yeah, new team this year, teamed up with Vin Burdock. We obviously had a good result in Coniston last November. We took the world and national records for the P1 Panther. Decided to carry it on this year. Completely rebuilt the boat over the last couple of weeks. Ready for the race today. A little bit disappointed we're not going to show off all our merits, but hopefully we'll get a chance this season to really show them what we can do.
What do you think your chances are this year?
I think we've got a great chance. There's a lot of preparation gone into the boat. We've got a fantastic team. We've worked hard and hopefully it'll pay off in the end.
Dino, first race.
Yes.
How you feeling?
Very excited today. Unfortunately, we're not going to race because of the weather, but hopefully tomorrow will be a bit calmer and we'll get a chance to go out and give the boat a wee run tomorrow.
So you think it's a bit rough out there for you today?
Not a bit rough for us, we're Scottish.
Gordon, you're used to endurance racing. Would you have gone out? Is this the sort of sea you're used to?
Well, absolutely, but it's a different boat we do the endurance racing in, and you're not near any other craft, so we would have been certainly out in this, but not for the P1 SuperStock.
To be honest, I think it's on a safety point of view, it was a sensible decision not to race today. It's a lot of effort gone into the boats. It'd be a shame to go out there and see too many breakages and accidents. So I think the right call was made.
We've got white tops out there, 5-metre swell, 23-mile-an-hour winds. It's really, really tough conditions. It was a good call.
Yeah, and the P1 Panther is a fantastic boat. It can run in so many different conditions, but even that can't handle this. And the bigger boats that you're used to driving, they couldn't handle this either.
The bigger boats that I'm driving, 41-foot, twin engines, we still wouldn't have gone out today. But the P1 Panther, we've seen it excel in the rough, like at Bournemouth last year, but this is pushing it a bit too far.
Yeah, all right, well, there we go. So that's all we've got time for today. But hopefully when we come back tomorrow, we'll be able to bring you 2 great races. So welcome back to day 2 here in Scarborough, where it is a case truly of what a difference a day makes. Shelley, we're standing here on the seawall. This time yesterday, you wouldn't have heard us and we would have probably got blown away. But it's all changed. It's all changed. It looks calmer out there than it actually is, Kev, I have to say.
Yeah.
We've got a really big swell coming in, which is going to give us some lovely airborne moments today, but much better conditions than yesterday. I mean, totally unraceable yesterday. A rejigged schedule as well means that we're going to be able to bring 3 races to the fans here today as well. Yeah, but really tough on the races. I mean, they're doing back-to-backs. Right. They've then got one, I think, a half-an-hour break where they'll probably stay out in the water. It's chilly, they're going to have to stay warm. So really tough racing for those guys today. You know, I mean, they want a day's rest yesterday, but today they've got to be on it. All right, great stuff. You'll probably go and have a chat to some of them this morning, see what they're thinking. Yeah. And we certainly do have a great day's racing to look forward to here, and a great season's racing ahead of us, as Rob Wicks, the COO of Powerboat P1, was telling me earlier. So Rob, here we are, first weekend of the season. Sadly, we didn't get to race yesterday, but looks like we're going to today.
Definitely going to get some great racing in today. Unfortunately, conditions yesterday just way too strong in terms of the wave height and strength of the wind. And obviously safety comes first, absolutely paramount in terms of our crews that are out there, our race teams, and also our fleet of volunteers who give up their weekends. So just, unfortunately, no way to go racing, but today much calmer. The winds dropped right down, wave heights have dropped significantly, and looking forward to 3 great races today. Obviously, we want to give the teams as much opportunity to get out and race and score as many points as they can and move on. We've got an exciting calendar in prospect. Yeah, let's talk about that calendar, because this year we are fully Great Britain. We've got England, Wales, and we're heading to Scotland. How did Scotland come about, and why was it important to add it? Well, P1's obviously always trying to increase its reach from a geographic perspective. We've raced predominantly along the south coast of England for many, many years, and then eventually extended up towards Hull and now to Scarborough, and then extended further west to Cardiff. But fortunately, a fantastic deal in place with a big regeneration business, Riverside Inverclyde, and the local Inverclyde Council up in Greenock, who are looking to redevelop and re-image that part of Scotland. And our inaugural race takes place there 18th and 19th of June, and looking forward to really some fantastic racing. The level of support we've had from local council, from all of the stakeholders, RYA Scotland, and a number of our commercial partners and sponsors up there, we really have a fantastic racing prospect.
So good to hear then that the championship is going from strength to strength. We're almost at race time as well, which is exciting for the guys that have been doing this for years, but perhaps a little bit nerve-wracking for some of the rookies. Shelley's been down on the pontoons, finding out what they're thinking ahead of the first one in 2016.
Neil Jackson, new driver on the block of Team Kissimmee. Tell us about your career.
Basically, I moved into sort of racing after about 15 years, enjoyed it a lot and always had an interest in the commercial side. This is a chance to actually, fulfill that. We've got full sponsorship, great backing, great event, great prizes, great races. What more can you say? I mean, it's just something that I've wanted to do and been given the opportunity this year.
Your brother Neil is driving, navigator's role. Tell me about that.
It's eyes in the back of my head. There's going to be boats everywhere. It's going to be exciting. It's a new challenge. It's so different from offshore. Small courses, 10 boats on the same patch of water, fighting for position. It's going to be a new challenge.
Chris Young, navigator for Arthur J. Gallagher. What boating experience have you had before, Chris?
So other than my race training, this is my first race.
Okay, and are we nervous?
Apprehensive, I'm going to go with, but it's going to be fine. It's going to be great.
Henry Morgan, driver of visitwales.com. What are your thoughts?
Oh, it'll be interesting. I don't know. I haven't driven a race boat. I've done 4 hours in this boat, so the more experience, the better, really. Yeah, I haven't got an idea what to expect.
You've done all your training, you've done all your medicals, so you've ticked all the boxes, but what's it going to be like when you're actually on that start line with another 9 boats either side of you?
I haven't got a clue, to be honest with you. I know what it's like lining up on a grid with a car. It's quite exciting, and when the lights go out, then you just game on basically. So, but tomorrow we'll just wait for the flag to come up and see how it goes. Just try and finish, really.
How do you feel at this moment before your first race?
Actually quite apprehensive. We had a really good couple of days with Neil Holmes, who's just absolutely an epic instructor. Doesn't quite prepare you for the whole race environment. We are quite realistic in our approach to this. We are rookies, so I think for the first race we've just got to go out, keep out of trouble, and just get the boat home and just enjoy it really for now.
So this is it then, the talking is now all done. Let's head on out to the start as the teams do exactly the same and go join your race commentator.
Thanks, Kev. The Scarborough course is a storm course comprising tight turns together with challenging weather conditions. Racing about to get underway at Scarborough. The fierce northerly wind and huge swell appears to have died down sufficiently. The P1 fleet of 10 race boats bobbing about on the North Sea, waiting to be unleashed. These are some of the toughest conditions any crews will have faced in the history of this series. So they're on their way then. And away we go. The P1 SuperStock Championship is go. We ride with Aaron Scott and Chris Young of Arthur J. Gallagher. We're heading inland with Sam and Daisy Coleman of Potence Network getting tossed about, making the navigator's job even harder. Sam taking over from former champion John Wilson. There will be some who revel in these conditions, others who aren't so keen. And that looks to be evident already in the gaps that are appearing as they head to the first turn. Number 22, Pickford's racing, diving inside Arthur J. Gallagher perhaps. This is the view from brother and sister Sam and Daisy Coleman. And the horizon far from staying steady. This could well be the toughest lap of the race. The boats so close together and their wakes adding to the swell as Neil and Jason Jackson of Experience Kissimmee take a face full of spray. That's how close they were. It looks like a steady start for Potemps Network. P1 regulars Stuart and Sarah Curitan competing under the Rawbank Racing banner this year. Back with Potemps Network as it looks like a breakaway group of 4 boats at the front. Arthur J. Gallagher, part of the leading pack. Pickford's a new outfit, Inverclyde, side by side with the Scottish outfit on the outside, trying to keep out of the white water. Ahead of the pack, Stuart and Sarah Curitan, so they're the race leaders. Arthur J. Gallagher in second place, but they have 2 boats hard on their tail. Pickford's Racing and Inverclyde. Sarah Curitan keeping an eye on what's happening behind and relaying the information to husband and driver Stuart. Meanwhile, this battle still rages between Pickford and Inverclyde for 3rd place on the leaderboard. Further back is E-Marine Racing, who are locked in a battle of their own with Visit Wales. And just inside the pair of them is Taifu, who go inside the buoy, and unfortunately they will be penalised for that as they cut across. And Visit Wales take avoiding action. Taifu just got that all wrong. Potemps Network also in a battle as they get sprayed by Quantum Racing, but they're looking to trim the boat as much as they can, keep the nose down, and it appears to be working as they power past Quantum Racing. However, they are still on the outside and therefore having to take the long way around. There is the proof of the move working, but they've been forced wide, and that allows Quantum to turn tightly and regain the position. Potemps Network are fighting back, and they take the position again. What a ding-dong these 2 crews are having. Meanwhile, that's the end for Pickford's, perhaps. So with Pickford's out of the picture, Arthur J. Gallagher and Inverclyde have 1 less boat to worry about. They're still 2nd and 3rd respectively. There is some way back to the 4th placed crew. Pickford's await the arrival of the pickup team. Now there could be a change of leader, with Arthur J. Gallagher looking very menacing as they challenge Rawbank Racing for the #1 spots. And they take it. So Rawbank slip back into 2nd position. Someone slow to a standstill, and that is Inverclyde. Experienced Kissimmee shoot past and move up the leaderboard. So game over for Inverclyde. And it looks like an acknowledgement from E-Marine Racing. The crew's new conditions would be challenging, and so it has proved. Great work once again by the recovery crews, who have also got to work in these conditions, which must be far from easy. Quantum Racing are going to be passed by both E-Marine and Visit Wales, and listen to their hull as it slams into the surface. Visit Wales quite clearly on the move and seemingly settled into a nice rhythm. E-Marine Racing just ahead of Quantum Racing. Aaron Scott and Chris Young in Arthur J. Gallagher. As they go past Quantum Racing, that's John Donnelly and Kevin Burdock. Taifu now getting the Arthur J. Gallagher treatment. Well, Arthur J. Gallagher looked at part in these conditions as they now go by E-Marine. They appear to be lapping their rivals with ease, but it will be far from that. Yellow caution flags are out, and the crew's adhering to them. Arthur J. Gallagher certainly stamping their mark on this, the first race of the season. They're coming up on Visit Wales, and they will pass them with room to spare. It's still not clear-cut though. Rawbank Racing are still in the picture. Back with the Jacksons in experienced Kissimmee. Rawbank Racing are also lapping. Here they're going past Taifu. Well, they certainly look as if they are. They're giving each other plenty of room. It is a real roller coaster ride today, but this pair adapting better than anyone else. Well, the P1 veterans, if I can call them that, Stuart and Sarah Curitin in Rawbank, have that Panther almost trimmed to perfection. Glenn and Lee Norval in E-Marine getting lapped by Rawbank. Unusual to have Craft lapped in this series, but that's because they're on the Storm course, which is shorter than the usual circuit. These two really enjoying themselves. E-Marine still hanging on to Rawbank, but you have to fancy they'll let go soon, especially as the Curitans have the inside line. And yes, they go through cleanly, but look too far back now to threaten the race leaders at this stage. Experienced Kissimmee experiencing some kind of issue. It certainly seems to have them discussing what to do next. They've had to wait an extra day for their season to begin, but they will not be concerned by that now. Good things come to those that wait is the expression, and that looks to be in the shape of a first victory of the season for Arthur J. Gallagher. They'll soon be coming up upon the checkered flag. There it is, and here they come. Arthur J. Gallagher take the first win of this year's P1 SuperStock Championship. This is how they finish, with the top two outfits, Rawbank Racing and winners Arthur J. Gallagher, both very happy as to how this race went for them.
Stuart, you're a man who's done many P1 races and many boat races, but that looked rough out there.
It was. It's probably big swells, probably the roughest thing I've ever done. Yeah.
Well, how about that for a fantastic first one here in Scarborough? After waking up this morning and thinking it was going to be quite flat, smooth racing, boy, did it kick up. But it was Aaron Scott in Arthur J. Gallagher who took the win. Two more still to go here in Scarborough, and we'll bring them to you right after this. Welcome back to day two here in Scarborough, where we've still got two more great Superstock races to bring you. And the conditions, well, they seem to be picking up nicely to make this even more exciting, if that were at all possible. But of course, a Superstock weekend isn't just about the boats. The jet skis come out to play as well. Aquacross has just gone from strength to strength year on year here in the UK and in the US. And the world #1, Eric Francis, number 911, has travelled all the way from Florida to be here this weekend. Eric, it's great to see you here in Scarborough. I obviously know you from the race series in the States. Normally I'm chatting to you on the beach in Florida. What brings you to the coast here in Scarborough?
I was invited by, Aquacross to come on over here, and Aisha also helped me, get over here with the skis. So it was quite an honor to come over here and race in the UK.
And you just had your first race here in the UK. Obviously much colder than the US, but how did you find it? What was it like?
I mean, the conditions were quite rough. It was definitely a different element, not being able to feel your hands out there on the course. You had to pace yourself quite differently. And the water's quite rough, so I like it. So overall, it's good outside the freezing water.
And I know you were quite excited to come over here as well. There's camaraderie amongst the racers, but you got the guys like Russell Marmon and Phil Pope. I know you were keen to go, side by side with those boys.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an honor to race some of the best the UK has to offer, and the guys are just as competitive here as they are in the US, so it's a challenge anywhere you go.
And just quickly then, tell us about the race. You had a little bit of an incident, but so did Phil Pope.
Yeah, I mean, we got to a good start, pulled the whole shot, and then Popey caught up. We had a little battle there for about a lap, and then he went for a swim. And about a straightaway later, I got hit by a lap rider, which put me in the water, and boat took on some water, and Took a while to get back up the pace, but we've ended up with the third, so it's not the worst start to the weekend, but not ideal.
And hopefully then you're not too cold that you're not looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, I mean, we would like to run another one, so we'll see how this weekend finishes out and see what we can do with our sponsors.
Eric, it's awesome seeing you over here. Go and get warm. We'll see you out there for the next one.
Well, Eric Francis certainly held his own against the UK riders, the rough sea providing some spectacular action. So in the 250 class, Richard Rowe wrapped up both races, while Duncan Johnston took maximum points in 200, and bragging rights in 300 go to Phil Pope.
Well, good to see that Eric seems to be enjoying his UK experience so far, and the good news for him and all the fans here in Scarborough is that the sun appears to be coming out. Right, back to the SuperStock action. Time to head out to the start line, and all eyes will be on Aaron Scott and Arthur J. Gallagher. Can he make it from two? Let's go join your race commentator and find out.
Thanks, Kev, as we look at the crews preparing to leave the wet pits. The second race of the Dale Power Solutions P1 Yorkshire Grand Prix of the Sea is about to commence. Aaron Scott and Chris Young and Arthur J. Gallagher out for a repeat of their earlier win. They're away quickly, but are they the quickest? Typhoon just taking it tight. Better from them this time as the boat surfed their way on the waves, but then break left. E-Marine and Quantum Racing in a duel just behind, with experienced Kisame bringing up the rear on this opening lap. Typhoon coming under threat from both E-Marine and Quantum. What a spectacular start to this race. 3 abreast and skipping across the surface as they crash back down onto the water. A cool, calm approach is required. Try to go too fast and you may end up higher out of the sea and therefore going slower. Arthur J. Gallagher displaying the same pace as they did earlier. Is E-Marine just ahead, but Quantum looking very menacing indeed as they get that one perfect. So it's all changed between those three. Thames Network in second place, trying to hunt down Arthur J. Gallagher. On board with Sam and Daisy Coleman in the Thames Network. So here comes Arthur J. Gallagher then. It all went swimmingly well in race 1 and it's looking good in race 2. Looking down on Quantum and Typhoon. Arthur J. Gallagher in trouble and Potemps Network go past. So Arthur J. Gallagher on their way again. Unfortunately, the conditions got the better of both Pickfords and Inverclyde yesterday, but Arthur J. Gallagher are able to carry on. So Potemps Network, Sam Coleman and Daisy Coleman, brother and sister. They lead the second race at Scarborough.
Absolutely identical, the engines.
Looking at Quantum Racing. Potemps Network, though, have got the sea to themselves, or so it would seem. Arthur J. Gallagher at a standstill again. So Potemps Network take the checkered flag. A good showing as well from Quantum Racing. So race 2 comes to an end. Here's the results. And it's victory for Potemps Network with Quantum Racing in second, Typhoon third and E-Marine Racing in fourth.
our strategy was just take that nice and easy, nice soft ride on the outward leg, and then basically on the other 3 parts of the course we can open up and really make the most of it.
So the Scarborough coastline there producing some fantastic racing, and the best thing is there's more to come right after this. So welcome back to Scarborough, where the crowds are continuing to be entertained by the P1 SuperStock Roadshow. One more race to go out on the water though for the SuperStock boys, and the conditions, well, they haven't let up any. Let's see what happens as we head out to the start.
We're just moments away from the third race of the Dale Power Solutions Yorkshire Grand Prix of the Sea. The swell is still there, but they're all used to the conditions by now. There are 1 or 2 faces missing for this one. Everybody waiting for the signal to go. At present, it's the yellow flag being displayed as the boats line up in preparation for racing. Even with the boats not going at high speed, they're still taking to the air. Stuart and Sarah Curitan about to put the hammer down and get underway. Here we go then, as they power across the surface of the bay. It's been a good day so far for Potemps Network, and Sam and Daisy Coleman looking for more success. Again, the nose is taking to the air, but that's because of the conditions. Riding with Glyn and Lee Norval of E-Marine Racing. Out of the water goes Quantum Racing, just their propeller staying submerged. Typhoon looking to trim as much as they can. It seems like they have, then bam, they hit the top of the water. There's nothing else quite like it on the planet. Powering across the surface at speed, but being tossed about at the same time. It's a thrill seeker's paradise. The Thames Network keeping a tight inside line, but they've got E-Marine Racing just on their tail. But Glyn and Lee Norval going to the outside. They'll cut across the wake. That is Rawbank Racing looking for a move on Typhoon, who are struggling to keep their noses down, and they are losing ground as a result. Rawbank are much smoother and therefore gaining ground. However, they have to take the long way around. Quantum Racing with clear water ahead of them. The Thames Network trying to gain. And Sam Coleman looks to have that panther purring now. Quantum Racing also making light work of the conditions. On board with Sam and Daisy Coleman of Potemps Network. See blue sky, see blue sky, see blue sky. It's been like that all day. So there's Quantum Racing. And Potemps Network in third place. Quantum Racing keeping it tight, keeping the boat as flat as possible. They don't want to roll. So they're making a break for it. Potemps Network, meanwhile, in third place, looking to move up into second at the expense of Rawbank Racing. Here come the Colemans. Trying to draw up. They are just less than a boat's length behind, but I think they may find themselves in second place. Quantum Racing, meanwhile, staying out of it in front. So it's been a good day so far for Sam and Daisy in Potemps Network. Still Quantum Racing setting the pace, trying to keep as smooth as they can across the surface. Well, Patem's Network of going up the inside of Rollbank Racing by the looks of things. It's still neck and neck between the two of them for second place. We're on board with Rollbank, Stuart and Sarah Curitan. Oh, that was a big one. Patem's Network now threatening Quantum Racing for the lead, and look at this, super smooth from Sam Coleman. Powering his way past just about. Took big air right at the end of that manoeuvre. So all change at the front. And Rollbank Racing on the outside of Quantum. Quantum not giving up on first place just yet, but Patem's Network do have the inside line, and here come Rollbank Racing. We're looking at the top three in this race. The Curitan's not giving up. Oh, and they are on the outside. They may look in first place now, but now it's Patem's Network who are streaking ahead as well. Just managed to dig their propeller through the waves and get the power that they require. And look at this from Quantum Racing again. They're fighting back. What a race this is. What a great way to start the season. And Quantum Racing are now in front again. That was another big one for the Curitans. Very experienced crew. Well, Rollbank Racing are now trying to dive up the inside of Patem's Network. Quantum Racing back in first place again. What a fantastic battle this has been so far. Again, that must be so frustrating, trying to keep, and you can see how much air they're taking, but trying to keep the Panthers as flat in the water as possible, but the swell is just not allowing them to do so. Now then, the Coleman's on a charge once again. Still Quantum Racing that lead though. Perfect line coming into the next turn. Not allowing Patem's Network to sneak up the inside. So Quantum Racing continue to dictate the pace. Patem's Network, have they got another ace up their sleeve? Rollbank Racing just seem to be out of it a little bit in third place now. But Patem's Network, we've seen them look super smooth and getting the power on. And even you can't discount Rollbank Racing as well still. They're still in the picture. They've had to wait a day for racing. It was due to start yesterday, but it has been well worth the wait, this one. Sam Coleman determined to reel in the race leader if he can. But Quantum Racing, this will be the third different winner in 3 different races that we've had, if it stays as it is. Well, Patem's Network have gained and gained and gained, and they're looking to make the move again. It's very close. The Coleman's looking smooth, but Quantum just getting on the power again. Quantum Racing with, oh, and Patem's Network are slowing. They're slowing. Oh dear, oh dear. So Rollbank Racing look as if they'll slot into second place at the expense of Patem's Network. A sympathetic hand there from Sarah Curitan. So it does look as if Quantum Racing will be our third different winner of the opening 3 races of this season. What a shame for Patem's Network. However, they've had 2 good solid races to begin their campaign with. So Quantum Racing then, on their way to the checkered flag. Here they come. It will be waved, and they will greet it. There it is, the checkered flag then for Quantum Racing, the winner of race 3 here in Scarborough. Marine take third place ahead of Taifu. Rollbank Racing a second, with Quantum Racing in the top spot this time. So this is the overall championship position as they go into the next round at Greenock, and it's Quantum Racing and Pertemps Network, but only just from Rawbank Racing.
So Sam, Daisy, a fantastic weekend for you, looking at the bigger picture, but it wasn't easy for you out there. There was a lot of things sent to test you this weekend.
Oh, we had terrible problems, Kevin. Obviously, it's mine and Sam's first race. Everyone classes us as experienced, but we still consider ourselves rookies. We went out there, we didn't have the best start on the first race, but we were happy with that because it was tough conditions and we were just getting into a rhythm and things.
Feeling our way around in the first race. Managed to feel our way around to third, which was great.
Yeah.
But we didn't really know where we finished in the first race because it was all a bit just learn and drive to conditions and take it easy.
The waves were so high, so the boats were hidden, so I was trying to clock where everyone was, but you couldn't, it was impossible to.
Kept losing people in the swell, so we didn't know exactly where we were, but we knew we were doing okay. And then the second race, we just came out the tracks flying then, and it was great. We had a good start and we're up there from the start, which enabled us to fight with the guys at the front then. So we had a good dice with Aaron and Gallagher, which was good fun.
A few mishaps though, wasn't there, in the second?
Yeah, well, we struggled in the second because we lost the whole dash. We had no power on the dash, no comms then, so we couldn't hear each other speak. So Daisy was screaming at me when it was clear to turn. And when it was all hand signals, thumbs up, thumbs down,
pushing him,
2 boats wide, push wide and everything, and it was interesting. But we managed to make it round and happened to win that one as well. So.
And just last, you finished second on the podium for the weekend, but as far as the championship's concerned, you're equal on points in first place.
Yeah, we can't ask for much more, can we?
Fantastic. We're chuffed to bits. I mean,
there's a lot of people not finished the weekend because of the conditions, and to come away finishing every race was the aim for the weekend. To come away joint top of the championship is dream come true at the moment.
Lads, huge congratulations, first weekend of the season and your first win as a team together. Must feel great.
Thanks, Kev. It's brilliant. Absolutely amazing. I couldn't ask for more. The season's just been fantastic last year. You know, complete rookie season for me, but met John 3/4 of the way through the year. We had a fantastic battle, as you know, Typhoon against Quantum. And friendship started. That friendship moved on to Coniston Waters, and between myself and John, with John's help, we got a world record and a national record. So we kind of hatched the plan then that we were going to race together this year. We kind of held back slightly in the first 2 races.
Second one we sort of picked up a little bit. I had my old teammate Kevin Hunt overtake me. I let him go by him and just really showed him who's boss on the back straight here and took him back on the chicane.
And then, as you know, race 3.
Race 3, we went for it.
We went for it.
And just really stamped our authority on where we're going to be this season. So.
Well, you've certainly made it exciting for us as we head to Scotland from here, and you guys must be thrilled. That's our next stop.
Really looking forward to it. Can't wait for the next one.
Brilliant.
Well, how about that then for a first weekend's racing here in Scarborough? And Shelley, it came down to count back, equal points between the top 2 teams at the end of the weekend.
I mean, amazing conditions out there. It was very, very rough on all of them. So I think anybody who actually just finished out there this weekend have done really, really well. You've got to hand it to Quantum Racing. They went to Lake Coniston last November and got a world record for the top speed for a P1 boat.
Yeah.
So they had the speed, and today they proved they can race in the rough as well.
Yeah, and race in the rough they did as the surf continues to crash in against the seawall here in Scarborough. But that's it for the opening weekend. Next time out, we head north to Greenock in Scotland, and we'd love it if you could join us there. But until then, from all of us here, see ya.